What is going on YouTube? Just a quick video here today to bring you some ideas and some of my thoughts when I'm looking at the charts each single day, when I'm looking to take trades, when I'm looking for setups. This is one of the main things that I go to get a bias, get a direction, and get an idea of where price could be moving during the New York session, right? This specifically the New York session. So first of all, as you can see, we are on the 12-hour time frame. If you have a look over here in the top left, 12-hour time frame. And what we're going to look at is this week specifically, and you guys can go and do your own back testing on this. And of course, you will see amazing results. But first of all, why do I look at the 12-hour time frame? Well, if you think about the daily time frame and the daily candles, within one daily candle, you get two 12-hour candles. That is the daily candle in half, right? 24, which is 24 hours of the day, which is the daily candle. Half of that is 12, right? So you get two 12-hour candles and one daily candle. And why is this important, in my opinion? Because you get one 12-hour candle, which can give you direction and bias, and then the second 12-hour candle, which can be the continuation of that first 12-hour candle. And we'll take a look at some examples on the chart right here. Now, this is gold, as you guys know. When I'm day trading, scalping, I only trade gold. But this can be applied, and obviously do your back testing, but this can be applied to any pair, really, to get your bias and your direction for the New York session, okay? So let me just turn on... I have over here multi-time period charts indicator. This is just going to give us a very easy, a much easier way to look at the charts from the higher time frames. So if I turn on this, you can see this box right here has formed around this price, right? This is the weekly candle. Everything that you see within this box was from that week, right? Right here. This is the week, okay? And then I'm going to turn on this one now, which you can see the smaller boxes. This is the day, right? This is each day. So as you can see, within one of these smaller boxes is two candles, right? One, two, within this box right here, okay? This is the daily candle box. So you have two 12-hour candles. And then within the weekly box, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daily boxes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 12-hour candles. Now, this is irrelevant. You don't need to know this, but I'm just letting you know what these boxes are around the price. So instead of us flipping back and forth between the weekly and the daily time frame, we can just stay right here on the 12-hour time frame, and we can see each daily candle as it closes and each weekly candle as it closes, right? And when it's a green box, that is a bullish closure. When it's a red box, that is a bearish closure, okay? This just enables us, like I said, to look at the weekly and daily time frames without flipping back and forth between these time frames. And we can see price action a lot more clear. So let's get into it. The first 12-hour candle of the day, right? I'm going to turn off the weekly. We don't actually need that. It's just to give us an idea of what happens within the weekly candle right here, right? All this 12-hour price action is within one weekly candle. Okay, so here's where the week started, right here, right? This was Monday, okay? As you can see, if you look down on the bottom right here, this is Monday, 24th of June, most recently. And on Monday, we have the first 12-hour candle closure right here. This is Monday's 12-hour candle closure, okay? Closes bullish. So then that straight away for the New York session, because this 12-hour candle captures the Asian session and kind of the start of New York session. And then the second 12-hour candle will capture that mid-London session and then the start of New York session and beyond, okay? So very important, the first 12-hour candle of the day closes bullish. And what happens for the next 12-hour candle? It continues bullish, right? By about 41 pips. So straight away, when that first 12-hour candle closes, for that which captures the Asian London session, or from the start of London to about mid-London session, Then that gives us our bias and direction. It closed bullish. So guess what? For New York session, which is this 12-hour candle right here, we can look for continuation buys, right? And then we will go down to the lower time frames, which I will teach in the CPAC Academy and go a lot more into detail. We can look for buys here then during that second 12-hour candle, right? Moving on to Tuesday. The first 12-hour candle on Tuesday closes bearish, right? Right here. So guess what? For the second 12-hour candle of the day during the New York session, we can look for sales. We have our bias, we have our direction. We can look at sales, and price actually continues bearish there for 140 pips during that second 12-hour candle, the New York session. Moving on to Wednesday. The first 12-hour candle on Wednesday closes bearish. So straight away for the second 12-hour candle, that New York session right here, we can look for continuation sales. Okay, and price actually continues bearish for 220 pips. Very simple. Moving on to Thursday. The first 12-hour candle on Thursday closes bullish. So for the second 12-hour candle on Tuesday during the New York session, we can look for continuation buys, right? And again, we'll go down to the lower time frames and look for those buys. But price continues bullish for 230 pips, okay? And then Friday, right? The first 12-hour candle on Friday closes bullish. Now, the second 12-hour candle actually closes bearish, but it does continue bullish here. If I just turn this off, it does actually continue bullish here by about 110 pips first before it then flips bearish, right? So there was still chances to look for buys within this second 12-hour candle during that New York session to continue the bullish bias from the first 12-hour candle, right? And like I said, you guys can do your back testing on this and see how this plays out. Obviously, it doesn't do this 100% of the time. If we go back to last week, obviously this is on Sunday. Last week would mean, from the 24th. But if we go to the week before that, from the 17th of June till Friday, the 21st of June, this is the previous week, right? The previous week price action right here within this box. And if we go to Monday, which is right here, the first candle on Monday closes bearish, and the second 12-hour candle continues bearish after the close by about 110 pips, right? Then moving on to Tuesday, right here, this is Tuesday, the first 12-hour candle of Tuesday closes bearish, and here is the second 12-hour candle actually flips bullish, but it does continue bearish for about 47 pips. So there is chances to get in some positions here potentially if we can find an entry on the lower time frames, and you'd capture about 47 pips in there, right? But like I said, it doesn't always exactly play out like it did last week, where it plays out perfectly every time apart from Friday. Moving on to Wednesday, this is the first 12-hour candle here on Wednesday, closes bullish, but then we don't get the continuation bullish there. It actually just flips bearish and closes bearish, right? Moving on to Thursday, the first 12-hour candle closes bullish on Thursday, and then boom, the second 12-hour candle right here for Thursday continues bullish. The New York session 12-hour candle, right? Continues bullish by 320 pips, right? So straight away, when this 12-hour candle closes here on Thursday, you're going to be thinking, okay, how can I get into buys here, right? There's a lot of different ways to do that. Like I said, we'll go over that in the academy. But straight away here, it's give you a direction, it's give you bias. How can we get buys? Where can we get into the market for buys to continue this bullish bias, bullish direction, bullish momentum from the first 12-hour candle? And then, of course, Friday, boom, first 12-hour candle closes bullish, but then the second 12-hour candle just flips bearish there and starts driving down. And price does continue for about 33 pips. So again, potential for an entry in there. Would have to go down to lower time frames and see. But that's it. That is the 12-hour time frame candle New York session bias. if you guys found this video, helpful, and this just clicked something for you, and you just thought, oh, wait, this makes a lot of sense. Actually, this is what I needed to get my direction and bias for each day, each session. I will say, I will just, after each day finishes, to reset, right? We're not looking at the second 12-hour candle of the day right here. So here is Tuesday, the second 12-hour candle closes bearish. So for Wednesday morning session, Asia session, we're looking to continue buys. That's not what I'm telling you, right? What I'm telling you is each day resets, and you're going off of the first 12-hour candle closure, right? So here on Thursday, the first 12-hour candle closes bullish, and the second 12-hour candle continues bullish. We are not then taking the second 12-hour candle of Thursday and applying it to Friday morning, first 12-hour candle, and looking for buys, even though in this scenario, it does continue for about 80 pips. We reset this each day, and we're looking for that 12-hour bias to take us for that daily candle and where we're going to go for the rest of the New York session, right? So if you guys found this video helpful, please sub and like to the YouTube channel. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you in the next video.